So, big surprise here. Although the timing is a little surprising, but the story's not surprising. Sony's already working on a revised model of the PlayStation 5.
But that's not by choice. That's by necessity.
I think they have to.
Wait.
They can't get all the parts they need.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this the model revision for the bypassing of the semiconductors that I talked about last week and everybody said it was crazy?
Yeah,
is
bypassing a lot of shit. Yeah, they're
bypassing a lot of shit
for a lot of shit.
I'll read this article. This is from PC Mag, my where I write for. Matthew Humphreys, one of my former editors. Love that dude, great guy. He goes, there's not much detail on what we can expect beyond a new version of the AMD Zen 2 processor manufactured using 6nm process. The chip used in all PS5s consoles today is 7nm parts, so the move to 6nm should bring with it a small performance gain / power saving. It's also thought to include some further customization, although it will still have to remain fully compatible with the existing chip. So that's what we know. That's all we know at the moment.
Yeah, it's like, in the 360 days, they would change chips all the time.
Yeah.
Remember
like
the Jasper.
The Jasper, yeah, they had all of those, The one that came with the HDMI, they would have changed. They would do these like soft kind of little reboots that no one would ever notice.
It was just always in bundles. Yeah, you didn't. What was the big noticeable one? Was remember when they added the 16 gig RAM when it went from 8 to 16 gig, and that was a big deal. What the fuck? I think this game runs better on the black box. And it's like, well.
Yeah, so I think the reason I really wanted to talk about this story is because a lot of people are already jumping the gun saying this is the PS5 Pro. No, it's just
it's not.
It's just
a system refresher.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead. School these motherfuckers, man.
Well, it's just a refresh to get around the shortage, right? We talked about
that's right.
The whole semiconductor thing, and I mean, and Brett, I know you mentioned it too. I don't know the details of this since the news just broke. And they didn't really detail what's involved in this new 6nm process. But it's not a PS5 Pro. It's not a complete redesign of the whole system. It's just they need a new process that can manufacture readily and the supply is available. They cannot keep kind of just having these stalls and then like having these small output of systems. You see what happens every time. It's like, oh, Walmart got a small shipment, Best Buy gets a small shipment. What happens? The fucking stores get dogpiled on. They can't get a consistent supply out, and that's going to keep happening into next year. So they're like, fuck it, they're just going to refresh the system and change the chip so they can get the manufacturing solid and they can get the supply solid, so they put on new systems. If they did a PS5 Pro, you would see a board change. There would be a layout change to the board and the system, so you don't have the Javits Center as a cooling device. So they could shrink the whole thing, So that's going to be the Pro, which I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if there's going to be a PS5, to be honest with you. But if they did that, it would be to get the cooling and everything down, so the system is away 1,000 pounds. It's not gigantic. That's going to be your Pro.
People don't even have a PS5. So for them to come out with a Pro version was like people still trying to get the other one that just came out.
Yeah, and I think also another factor of using the smaller chip is heat dissipation and how much heat comes out of that thing. The way that they're going to transition from a PS5 to a PS5 Pro is by making it smaller. So this is their way to introducing another chip to putting it in the wild and seeing, okay, so the thermals on this have aren't as as high as they used to be, and they're reduced by this much, and we can use this a mini Jacob Javits Center instead of a full one, and they can work with that on a production environment and help the production of the new PS5 Pro. And I think that's a good way to do it. I don't know, Chris mentioned the whole thing about the shortages and using another chip to circumvent that by getting another production line for it. I have no clue. I don't know if they even said that. It could be, that could definitely be one of the things, because the issues that they're having right now with supply is not only found with PlayStation, it's fucking everywhere. It's cars, it's everywhere. So
yeah, there was a news report. This is unrelated to gaming, but it's still it's related to this. is that Ford has thousands of pickups and sedans sitting in a lot somewhere. I forgot what state it is, because they don't have the chips for the onboard circuitry.
Oh
So the
shit!
cars are built
Yeah.
and they have no circuit boards. So they have to sit out in a lot somewhere waiting for these boards to come in to finish them. That's how bad it is.
That's wild, man. It's affecting every. Like we talked about last week. It affects everything, not just games. You know.